Even though this has come to the attention of many journalists over the last week or two, you've been working on this story for 6 months, and you wrote a very powerful piece yesterday saying you're shocked about the fact that the Home Office is suddenly offering, its condolences almost to all of these families, when you've been asking them for a response and action for months and months.
That's right. We've been looking at this since the end of October.
Why did nobody react sooner to what you guys were publishing?
That's what's so puzzling, because every time we wrote about one of these cases, so somebody like Paulette Wilson, who's a former House of Commons catering worker who was taken to Yarl's Wood and put in detention and told that she was about to be deported back to Jamaica, that was a country she hadn't been in since she left when she was 9.
So she'd worked in the same building as MPs. And was anyone fighting for her?
Well, her local MP was, and the local refugee and migrant charity. But that was the case that we wrote about at the beginning of November. I went to the Home Office. They gave me a very, very dry statement saying they were going to work to help her with her situation, and she needed to get legal advice.
And did you realise then, when this was happening, when you got that response, did that trigger in you an alarm bell that if it was happening to this lady, it was probably happening to a lot of the Windrush generation?
Well, it was not at all clear at the end of last year that there were so many people affected, although there were signs. Every time we published an article, more people would get in touch, or more small legal charities would say, we've seen a bit of this. But everybody was puzzled by it because they thought it was just something weird that was happening.
So here's the key question.
But what I wanted to say is, every time I went to the Home Office, they said, this person should get legal advice. And they said something very formulaic, like, we respect the people who came from the Commonwealth to help our country. But there was no sense that officials at any level found this outrageous.
So here's my question.
Until 10 days
ago. Nobody
yeah.
knows more about this than you, right? We've seen the reaction from Amber Rudd, from Theresa May, everything else. Was there malevolence at play here? Did these people in government, did they know, do you think, what was happening to so many people from this Windrush generation? Or do you think it was cock-up, that in their desire to drive out illegal immigrants from this country, they just didn't realise the impact?
I think there were a lot of warnings from 2010, from 2012 onwards, in official internal impact statements looking at what the effect of the hostile environment policies, which Theresa May announced as Home Secretary in 2012. There were a lot of internal studies looking at what the risks might be. And I think the Home Office was absolutely aware that there was a group of older, long-term residents of the UK who could be caught up in it. And that's there in black and white.